Signal's terrible. What's up, Kev?
What's going on, everybody?
How are you?
I was on my desktop, and apparently you can't do this on a desktop, so I had to hop on my phone.
You know what? I learned that the hard way a few weeks ago with Danielle when I did a live with her. If you're going to be joining somebody in like an interview fashion on any type of Facebook group or even a personal page, you have to be on a phone or an iPad. So go figure.
There you go. I don't know if anybody can see my background.
Yeah, well, that's a nice background. Now, wait, is this the new house or the old house? Because you're moving, right?
I'm literally in the middle of moving right now. You can see boxes everywhere, shit everywhere.
Oh,
so
man.
this is where I'm leaving this place to go to a different place.
Gotcha.
Also,
well, look,
on the water though. So,
well, that's not too bad. I'll cry for you later on. All right. So, listen, man, we just want to take a few minutes like we do every Friday, 5, 10 minutes, 15, whatever it takes. And just, you built a great team. Your team is growing. You're doing a great job. And it's funny. You've probably been moving. You didn't see it, but I did an awesome training with Danielle about an hour or hour and a half, whatever it was ago. And one of the things that she mentioned is that with the upcoming changes in the economy and the, things happening, one of the biggest groups of people that are going to be affected, right, is going to be the people in the real estate industry, whether that's your mortgage brokers, right, your loan officers, agents, investors. The economy is shifting again. They're going to be the greatest people to talk to about this business, a direct sales network marketing company, because historically they've always been the best because they're self-starters. They're used to being independent commission-only people. They have a huge network of people, right? So they're great people. Now, I know that's my background, that's your background. I attribute that, frankly, to the rapid success that I had in my last company, which was my first network marketing company, rose right to the top because I just know a million people in the real estate industry. So surprise, most of your group, Kimberly, right? All the people we know are from the real estate background. So I thought maybe you could touch on that for a minute as a realtor, an investor, and all the things you do in real estate, part one, but then part two, talk more specifically about what you've been doing action wise and your daily activities to have such great growth.
Sure. So I actually think that even really any salespeople right now with the way the economy is going, I don't want to just pigeonhole real estate, but car dealerships right now aren't making any money. They have no inventory, right? Still, at least down here in Florida, that's what I see. The salespeople I'm talking to, like they're hurting, right? So anytime economy gets like this, people are usually looking to add some extra income, right? And then there's always people out there looking to change careers too, right? So, one of the things that I've been doing like lately to help grow our team, and I just brought somebody on who actually used to own a real estate brokerage. But as you know, when you've done that and you've built, and you're used to building. So to your point, it's not a hard transition to make, right? It's easy for them. They're already used to being on the phone. They're already used to talking. They usually have, an outgoing type personality. And these days, if they've been marketing correctly, they probably have some social media influence if they're a producing agent, right? So all those things can equate to success in this industry. I agree with that 100%. A lot of similarities. One of the other things I've been doing for the last couple of years, and you know this a little bit too, Brian, is I've been doing in the recruiting business, recruiting executives, right? So that's people looking to sometimes change careers or even just change from one company to the next. But what the last 2 years has done is really I've learned LinkedIn extensively. I'm on LinkedIn every day, right? And it's another great tool that a lot of people don't use because it's a little bit different how you want to approach things on LinkedIn. But
I'm one of those, Kev. I have an account. I set it up many years ago, and I have I don't know what you call it, friends, connections. I have, like, last I checked, it was over 20,000. I'm connected to a lot of people. I don't know how to use it. I don't even know what to do with it.
Dude, it's a gold mine. So, LinkedIn is a gold mine, right? So, but one, because you can have more. It's almost like Facebook. You only have 5,000 friends, even though that's changing, right? In like a month. I don't know if everybody understands this. This is kind of something
I didn't know that.
My notes in the other room, but Facebook is changing completely in about a month. Where reels and all that stuff. Like a couple months ago, they sent out and they asked people to be a part of their beta list to have what they call a pro account. And that's leading up to these big changes. They've been testing it. So they really want you to be doing the short reels, almost like the TikTokification of Facebook is almost like what's about to be occurring. So anyway.
Well, they're losing a lot of market share to TikTok. I was actually listening to a podcast about that. And now it's to the point where if people repurpose reels, so even if you share something from TikTok and it has that watermark, Facebook will completely suppress it and it won't get any engagement because it's literally their competitor.
Right, but they want you using their own reels, right? So Facebook
exactly,
has,
right.
and Instagram, right? Their partner, if Meta owns both, right? So, you know, Instagram, you can do reels. Facebook now, you can do reels, and there's already some changes you can notice when, like now, when I log in on my phone, stories used to pop up first. Now, and then like about a week ago, it said stories and reels, and now it's like automatically defaults to reels. Right?
You have to actually check it. You have to click the button to get back to the stories because they show you the reels first.
Because they show you reels first, and it's because they're going to be pushing that, and everything's changing. So they want you to be doing that, and when you have it in the pro accounts, they're actually going to start paying you. So there's people that have accounts. Facebook is going to be paying them as influencers, right? So now, I don't want to forget about LinkedIn, right? So, but what my point is, Facebook limited you to 5,000 people, but then they change it and you can have like an unlimited amount of followers. And that's kind of with these pro accounts, they're changing the algorithm to be able to do that. Well, newsflash, LinkedIn has always been that way, right? There is no limit on the amount of people that you can be connected with, right? And you can follow people and you can follow companies, right? And so you can tap into companies where you know they have salespeople that say, they're in the fitness industry or they're in the medical field somewhere. And you can actually, I have access to like a high powered system. It costs like $4,000 a year for one seat. But you can literally go in and zero down and dial down by like coaching, by location, by job title, like and really drive down and bullet point, like laser point a list. Or you can shut out a shotgun, right? And
you can do all that for free if you don't have the pro account, right?
It's free. Well, even if you don't have that program, if you use the free version of LinkedIn, there's no limit on how many people you can reach out to every day, right? And you can still post, but you don't want to, like when you're on LinkedIn, you're not posting family photos. You're not maybe every now and then you got beautiful scenery. Hey, this is where I live because of what I do type of thing. Because of my job, I'm working remotely. Right. Or cool, but you don't see it's strictly business posts, right? It's how can you help people with what they're doing every day, and then you can also share what your business is, right? And I'll even share when I have roles to fill for companies. I'll post, hey, we're hiring for a head of robotics, and but all that
stuff. Would be great, Kev,
how to really use that. Because we use it every day in like exclusively in the recruiting business. That's the tool we use. We don't use anything else but that to reach out.
It would be great. Would you be willing maybe one day next week? I know you're moving up. When you have time, maybe hop here in the group, do a Zoom, stream it in where you could share your screen and just do like a little basic overview for people that have LinkedIn, don't know how to use it. Maybe you show them some basics.
I could, absolutely, because one of the things you want to do. Like you can connect with somebody, right? But you don't want to just send a friend request. LinkedIn makes it easy when you do that. You also send them a little note. Now, you're limited to how long that note can be, which is okay though, because you don't want to beat them over the head anyway. You just want to pique interest. And this is the same exact stuff we used in the recruiting work. Like it's no different. We don't give them everything about the role. Sometimes the roles are confidential and we can't even tell you the company that's hiring. Because they haven't they're replacing somebody maybe they didn't let go yet, right? So we had to kind of slide in a very professional and general kind of way. And hey, I just want to connect. You know what our number one open rate is on a subject line? It's so simple. It's like so simple. People, you guys are going to be like, how? Like everybody wants to think, oh, I got to think of something creative, something catchy. Finding time to connect. That's our subject line. Finding time to connect.
And it works. They open it.
They open it. Our open rate is ridiculous. Now they may or may
Okay.
not respond to you, but we know that we're opening it, right? Then the message is we have a little bullet point about what the role is, right? So for this, I can put something in like, hey, you know, work at home, remote work opportunity, 6-figure plus, commission only, direct sales opportunity, right? I'm not telling them what
Yep.
it is as far as what the product is or even the company, but I'm giving
Right.
them what they might be able to make. It's remote, right? It's in sales, right? So if they're interested, they're looking, they're going to hit you back, right? And then hit
Right.
them with the 3-minute video, right?
Okay.
And then when they
And this is all
respond
done
after
through
that,
LinkedIn,
then you're getting on the
their
phone.
messaging platform, like their internal messaging. You're just doing it all through there,
All through,
just like you would
and
here,
that's through the
Messenger.
free version.
Right.
Free, totally
Okay.
free. Doesn't cost you any money, right? So, and it's like if you did that on Facebook, you're going to get people to go, you're fucking bothering me. Excuse my language, I curse, everybody.
Right.
Right? So,
Yeah, I never cursed, so it's okay.
if you're in this group, the chances are 99.9%.
I do my best, man. I really try. I try. It slips. I get passionate. These words flow out. But anyway, yeah.
Exactly. It's passion, right? So, if you tried that approach on Facebook, it's not going to work. But when you try it on LinkedIn, because it is a work platform, it's all day long, guys. This is gold I'm giving you, right? So, I'm absolutely in. I would hop on here and do another live and kind of run through step by step what you do. And then after that, I missed I missed the meetings this morning, both your things this morning, because obviously I'm packing and moving here, right?
Of course, yeah.
But I can imagine maybe a little bit what they talked about. And at the end of the day, it's a numbers game, right? Even the recruiting world,
100%.
in the sales world and the real estate world, it's all a numbers game, guys. Like, you have to be able to pick up the phone. You have to be willing to get over that fear. And one of the things, through the real estate world that helped me with that mindset, right? If not giving shit, like, the whole, who next thing, some will, some won't. You know what I mean?
Some will, some won't. So what next?
So what next, right? So it's
Yep.
like that mindset of, and the mindset of, especially with this, right? Your post the other day, I think just yesterday kind of hit to, or maybe it was 2 days ago, where you said, look, at the end of the day, when you're walking through the world the right way, and all I'm trying to do is help people. I want to help you lose weight. I want to help you lose fat. In the real estate world, I want to help you with your real estate problem, right? If you're coming from a place that you're just trying to help, it doesn't matter what the other person on the other line says, right? If they say no, so what? You know that you're only trying to help them, right? So if you keep that mindset, who cares if they hang up on you, they're not interested? Okay, so next. Like, I'm only trying to help you. Like, and if we don't,
and our pitch, bro,
it's not that I'm not going to like you anymore.
No, and I said that. It's so funny. I literally wrote something up. What's today? Wednesday night, 2 days ago, whatever it was. I wrote something up because I got a bunch of people too who haven't gotten back to me. First, they ask for the info, and then you send it, and then they disappear. They ghost you, right? Which we've all experienced if you're reaching out to people. And I wrote up a little kind of a template, and I'm going to customize it for each one. I talked about that earlier, but the point is, it basically said, okay, we have a product that helps you lose body fat, and by referring other people, you have the ability to make money. They're the two offers. That's it. That's the pitch. Like, I got nothing else to sell. Like, I have nothing else to say. Like, if you're not interested in losing body fat or making money, we're done. Like, I got nothing for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's it,
Right. There's no sense of spending time in that turmoil of them saying no, and not get back to you. Just move on to the next person, right? It's like, I coach baseball forever, so I equate things to sports, right? So, and baseball is a great metaphor for life, right? It's one of the reasons why I coach. I'm not teaching these kids the sport. I am, but I'm teaching them about life, right? I'm teaching them how to deal with failure. And there's no sport in the world that you have to deal with failure more than baseball, right? You get up, if you go 3 for 10, that means you're failing 7 times out of 10, right? The game is about dealing with failure and knowing that I just struck out, whatever, I get another bat. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to be up there again and get another at bat, right? It's the same, it's the same mindset. It's mindset, right? So, and that's why I love what this company's doing with, not only the fat loss product, but also I really can't wait to see what comes down to play on the
dude.
on
If
the
you want a little bit of a preview, and all you guys watching this now, please over the weekend, please take an hour, take 60 minutes. If you watch nothing else, Watch what Danielle talked about today at 10 o'clock Eastern. It's down on the page. Guys, it was all about mindset. And Kevin, you're literally, and it's interesting because you didn't even see it. This is exactly what she talked about. She talked about it's a numbers game, specifically 8-4-2-1, meaning if you have a goal, even if you're just going to do it Monday through Friday, she wants you to reach out to 8 people a day. Reach out just like you talk about on LinkedIn. Send a message, use Facebook, whatever. Send it out to 8 people, no matter what. Only 4 of them, plan on only 4, right? 8-4-2-1. 4 are going to actually get back to you. You're going to send a 3-minute video. Of the 4 people you send the 3-minute video to, only 2 are going to watch it. And of those 2, one of them is going to join as a member or a customer.
Yeah.
If you do that every damn day, day in and day out, first of all, 8 times 5, just Monday through Friday, you're hitting 40 people a week. Okay? You're also bringing 5 new people into your business as a customer or member every week.
And listen, you can hit 8 people up on LinkedIn in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And
right.
you got to also realize some of these people, even in the recruiting world, right? And listen, just so you guys know, I'm not talking about $50,000 a year jobs. I'm talking about $300,000, $400,000 a year salaries, right?
Right.
These are professionals. They're busy. They might not get back to us for a week sometimes. And again, there's fortune still in the follow-up. I might have to follow up with my list 3, 4, 5 times before I get somebody to reply, right? Some reply right away. Some reply in a week. Some might not reply at all. Like, it's just a number. You just got to do it. It's the consistency of getting up every day and doing it. Whatever the number is 8. Like, with LinkedIn, I'm telling you right now, you can do 50 a day in an hour. 50 a day in an hour. Now, eventually, they're going to turn into calls, right? So then you get busy maybe on the phone, or you're busy just following up, right, and getting them what they need and helping them through the process if they have questions. But absolutely.
Let me ask you a question.
Something in the recruiting world at EXP, right? Similar model where you can build a team and build leverage, right? Even them guys teach. They're busy. Most agents are busy selling homes. Recruiting an agent is another skill, and you're adding work to your current plate, right? So just for you people that already have a full-time gig, you have to just take time, get a scheduler out, and you got to box out time and just say, hey, for these 2 hours, even if it's 1 day a week, for these 2 hours every Friday, I'm going to do nothing but grow my Awaken business, right? Mm-hmm. And again, coming down to consistency. As long as you're consistent with it over time, the proof is in the pudding. Like there's really no magic pill. I mean, it's funny that we have almost a magic pill that we're talking about, but the reality is there really is no magic pill. And you talked about that too. Like, you can't just take the pill and go drink a case of beer a day and drink pizza and cheesesteaks all day and think that you're still going to lose weight. Like, you still have to take some effort. You know what I mean? It takes effort.
Well, let me ask you one question. That's a great point about, you're reaching out to a lot of people, and guys, it's a numbers game. So Danielle was trying to make a point to show that if you have a consistent Monday through Friday, 8 a day, Monday through Friday, you're hitting 40 people a week. But like Kev said, if you're that busy, you got a job and you just block off an hour or 2 and you do it on a Friday afternoon or a Saturday morning and you hit your 40 people, then you still hit your target, because out of those 40, right, the number is 8-4-2-1, the math still works the same, right?
Yeah. You got to make it work around your schedule. Right? We all have different things going on in our lives, right? Kids we're chasing around, other things we got going on. But the important thing is to schedule it, right? You have to schedule it, and then you have to have the discipline to make sure that you're doing it, even when you don't, right? That's what's nice about having Joe. Like, we have an accountability partner too. So I think that's important too from some of you guys. Like, and if you need me to be that for you, especially if you're on my team, if you're on my team, you're hearing from me, right? Just like you said, hey, I'm going to be next week I'm carving out time in my schedule to make sure my team is getting what they need, right? And
every person
helping hold them accountable, right? Hey, what are you doing?
Yep.
What do you need help with, right? What's working, what's not, right? Having those regular meetings too is important.
Well, I don't want the people who spent $50, they chose a digital collectible in August, and now they're going to get an email basically saying, okay, pay up. And they're like, pay for what? They forgot what you know what I mean? Because they didn't plug in. They didn't get into the group. They have no idea what's going on. So it's like, you can't just leave a trail of dead bodies. Right. We all have to go back and talk to these people and say, hey, you were excited back then. You spent the $50. Now here's your options. If you want to build a business, and chances are if they're completely disconnected, they're probably not interested in building a business. Let's be honest, right? But at least they were interested when we know in the product, so they can get the 2-pack or the 4-pack, which gets them in the door, gets us all volume, and they're still in the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just, again, I don't really like that saying, but you don't want to leave a trail of dead bodies. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
you can't. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, you're responsible for the people that you bring in, right? That's that
Yep.
collaboration there. Like, again, like that environment and community that, you know, I'm fortunate enough to be involved in with EXP. And that's important. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I still, you know this, to this day, if I call my upline leader, Jay Kinder, who is one of the biggest guys in that whole company, I think he's got 10,000 people under him, right?
Yep.
When I call him, he answers the phone. Like, he answers it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And he takes the time out to give me whatever I need, right? And I try not to take advantage of that, of course, but I know he's there and he's living up those prompts, right? So I have to do the same thing, right? It's, you know, if you want, it's no secret in your, really, also too, what I do, like some of the stuff I am doing on Facebook, and I'm not a wheel creator, right? I use the wheels that other people have created for me. I don't try to make it more difficult. I take other people's posts, I change a few words, I change it up a little bit, right? Every now and then I write my own stuff completely on my own, but a lot, you know, who's got time to do that every day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, don't make it more hard
Well, the fact
or harder on yourself than it really needs to be, right? Find the other posts, like Danielle's doing a great job
every day,
giving you stuff to post. But then there's also like follow some other leaders and just kind of see where don't steal them word for word, because that screws up the algorithm.
Right.
You got to change them up a little bit, right? And obviously, still, you want to be authentic too, right? Like, don't post something that you don't also feel, right?
Right.
And when you are writing your own stuff, you know, like you were saying, you're like, don't claim things that aren't true and say things that aren't true. Like, be authentic, right? That's what is going to draw people to you, ultimately, anyway. But you know, doing that stuff, I don't recreate the wheel. And again, that's one of the things that's important to be able to grow a big company. Is it has to be duplicatable. It needs to be easily duplicatable. And you mentioned earlier, there's just two things you got to say. You want it. I mean, this is literally one of my questions. When you do, you know, get on the phone when I'm doing an interview and you've watched a couple of things, you got some questions. Did you watch the videos? I watched the videos. What did you like most about what you watched? Right? And then the follow-up question is, they're going to tell you what they like most, and that's great. And make note of that, because you're going to refer back to that as you're closing them. And then my next question is, so, like, what are you looking to do? Are you looking to lose fat, help other people lose fat, or both? And that's all it is.
Yeah.
What it is. They close the videos in that process. That literally is all I do. Right?
Yeah.
And then after that, it's following up. Right?
One last
so
question.
Much easier than the sales cycle of selling a house.
Or closing somebody on a $400,000 salary, right?
Yeah, that too, because that's, you know, that's a huge thing, right? So,
one last question,
and
just
for the big heavy hitters,
efficiency.
you know this too, Brian. I'm not afraid to call you to get you on a three-way, right? So that's another thing. Like, that's still available, you know, to, you know, everybody. It is a good thing to lean on your upline leader to help you.
What we're teaching specifically is a three-way message, because a
Right.
three-way call, okay, I'm not against it. We as a corporation, from the leadership perspective, are not against it, but we also know that in 2022 the three-way message is most powerful, because 95% of the time they just have a few questions, they want to hear your voice. Use Messenger where you can do an audio, and it makes that personal touch, and they're good. Hey, I want to introduce you to Brian. He's the master distributor. One of them, Kev, is our plan leader, whatever. Hey, good to meet you, Joe. Heard you had a couple questions. Now this is through messaging. 95% of the time they're satisfied, they're ready to go. If we have to take it to a phone call, we do, because the whole concept of, and you're in recruiting, you know this, you just don't want to get on the phone with some guy who you know is going to try and close you. You know what I mean? People are really resistant to that, right?
Yep.
I mean, think about it. We live in an age now, nobody answers their phone.
Right.
And in fact, think about this. You don't even call somebody cold anymore. What do you do first? You text them. Hey, man, you got a minute? When can we talk? Like, you don't just randomly pick up the phone and dial. Well, unless it's your mother, maybe, right? But the point is, think about that. Like, that's how much society has changed. And it's changed rapidly, right? So just kind of adapting with the times, but yeah, everybody has that level of support, man. From me, there's always someone there to help you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
And that's my
and I
point.
think
Like
that's the
if you're
key.
struggling, if what you're doing is not working, then you're
Reach
probably
out.
doing something wrong or something. So you got to get on the line while you're up.
Yeah.
Like, don't think that I'm so busy that I can't help you. Like, that's one of the things
Exactly.
that Jay had said, right? It's like, I got 10,000 people on my team, so everybody thinks I'm so busy, they don't want it, so they don't even call me. He's like, so then
Right.
then now there's my calendar's empty.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, don't think just because we're leaders and we got a lot of things going on that we're not interested in, that we don't want to help you. Like, if you're out there, we want to help you.
Make
Because
the
the better
time.
you do, the better
Exactly.
we do. The better it is for you, the better it is for us. Right?
Yep. And that's the other thing too. And I'll close with this. I got to hop on another Zoom, but at the end of the day, bro, you're 100% right, because the reason I said I have to now go back and reach out, I don't have to reach out to you. I don't have to reach out, I scroll through and tell you that, frankly, anybody who's watching this now, I don't have to reach out to because they're engaged or plugged in. But again, there's a whole list of people who I haven't heard from. I put them in the group. They've probably never logged in, right?
Yeah.
I haven't reached out to them yet because I've been busy working with and helping the people who are like, hey, Brian, I need help. I'm working, I'm built, right? And so you put your time where the people who raise their hand always get the attention. Now you got to unfortunately go back to the other people and be like, hey, man, I didn't forget about you. I've been busy launching this company, but you signed up. I'm still here to help you. Like, what's up? What do you want to do? How can I help you? And that's the message I'm going to get out to everybody next week.
100%. But to your point, too, they also need to be proactive, right? Like, and so Jay will say the same thing. Like, with 10,000 people, he doesn't have time to call 10,000 people.
Well, of course
so
not.
Who's he going to call first? The ones that are most proactive, the ones that show up to the most meetings, the ones that show up to the most in-person events, the ones that reach out to him most often are the ones that he's going to reach out to first, right? Because they're showing incentive. They're showing that they want to succeed. So you naturally want to help the people, like even in the coaching world, like, what kids get the most playing time? The kids that get the most playing time are typically the ones that are working the hardest.
Yeah.
Right?
The ones showing up to practice early, staying late, same thing.
One thing for me, everybody watching the group, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. You're going to get the real deal from me, whether you like what I say or not. Right? So
that's a Northeast thing, man.
Right?
We can't help
it. Hey, look in the mirror. Right?
Right.
If you're not getting results, you might want to look in the mirror and check yourself.
Danielle had
we all need that. I need to kick it in myself from time to time, right?
Wait till you see Danielle's replay from earlier. She had a few slaps in the mouth too, in a nice way, of course. But you got to tell it like it is, man. I mean, we're here to help people, and if you sugarcoat it and just dance around the truth, you're not helping people. You know what I mean? And like she said, she made one point. She's like, "Listen, if you're not growing, it's because you're not putting the work in. Period. You're not putting the work in.
Period.
That's it. And you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself why you're not. And that's it.
Right.
You know. But anyway,
and that's a hard
bro,
thing for a lot of us to do, right? And that's where I really
everybody
looking forward to the to the next product. And I'm definitely going to go back and watch that because that stuff is just important. You know what I mean? Working on your mindset and your mental. It's number one, right? Physically being in good shape, and then feeding yourself the right mental message. Every day is it's paramount. It's paramount.
Well, dude, I just want to close by saying you guys are doing a great job. You, Joe, the whole team, you guys are fantastic leaders. And I had no doubt you would be. I mean, we've done many other things together in real estate and all the other things we've done together over all these years. So I'm just glad you guys are on the team. Thanks for taking the time today. And yeah, man, if you can find the time next week to do a little training on the LinkedIn, I think that would be helpful to a lot of people.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely do that, man. And thank you. I mean, I feel blessed that we met and, so many years ago and that.
And when I first called you about a real estate opportunity, you blew me off. I mean, you told me you were too busy coaching. I'm too busy coaching the kids. I'm like, nah, man, we need to talk. You're not listening. Remember that?
Totally.
But I was persistent. I got you, man.
That's the truth. Well, you know what,
Mr. Big Broker.
And you know what, Brian? You got me just by being who you are and by being consistent, right? I paid attention. I said no to you, but I kept watching what you were doing, right? So that's the other thing. That's a huge lesson for you guys with the follow-up. Somebody may say no to you now, but that doesn't mean they ain't watching and paying attention. And they may come back around, right? So that's where being consistent comes into play, right? And having the right mental message and being consistent with that message. People want to be around that, right? So
right, man. And
winners want to be around winners.
It's like a moth going to the freaking light. I mean, you literally develop that attractive personality, that charisma. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Awesome.
So, all right, bro, I got to run. Enjoy. Have fun as much as you can with moving, and have a good weekend.
Yeah, next video will be from the next digs. Peace out, everybody. Appreciate you all.
Thanks, man. See you guys. Have a good weekend.